Hi everybody, I'm Sergio with Mobility Direct and welcome to our YouTube channel. Thanks for stopping by. In today's video, I'm going to give you a few things to consider before purchasing a power wheelchair, also known as an electric wheelchair. There's a lot of things that you should know before purchasing any brand, make, or model out there, and hopefully after watching this video, you'll feel a little bit more confident and a bit more educated on the decision-making process as a whole. Now, before I get started with this video, like always, I do have to mention two quick things. Number one, if you want a copy of our brand new product catalog, it's free. It has discount codes and our newest products in there. Just go to our website, www.mobilitydirect.com. Click on the green button at the top of every page that says free catalog. Fill out the simple short form that you're seeing on the screen now, and you'll get one in the mail within 1 to 2 weeks tops. Or you can just click right there where it says get free catalog. It'll take you straight to the form. I also want to mention that if I don't cover anything in this video, or if you have questions about our products, feel free to leave a comment below. We respond to every single comment on our YouTube videos within 1 business day. You could also just call our non-commissioned sales team. They're friendly and they'd love to answer any questions that you might have. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Let's talk about power wheelchairs as a general term here. So a power wheelchair is an electric powered wheelchair that usually is controlled with a joystick, like this one right here, which is a Jazzy. The model is the Jazzy Air 2, and it's made by Pride Mobility. Now, this happens to be a full-size power wheelchair. Power wheelchairs come in heavy-duty sizes, full sizes, travel-friendly compact models like the ones that you see here, which either come apart into 4 or 5 lightweight pieces, such as the Go Chair or the Light Rider by Golden Technologies. Personally, one of my favorite brands out there. It comes with an excellent 1-year warranty on the battery, 2 years on the electronics, and a lifetime limited warranty on the frame. And that's something you really want to think about, because there's a lot of brands out there that do not offer good warranty support down the road when you need it most. Golden Technologies, Pride Mobility, these are going to be like the Fords and the Chevys of the powered mobility world. You can also consider something made by Will, which is another really well-known brand. They're one of the few innovators out there that have thought about implementing a Bluetooth remote control attendant control system. So you can actually move the chair around with an app using a digital joystick like what you're seeing on the screen now. That's pretty awesome. And these brands I would highly recommend. There are a few others. If you visit our website, you go to the Power Wheelchairs by brand, you're going to see nothing but reputable brands that we've vetted that over the years have kept our customers happy. And that's one of the most important things to think about. So before considering any model out there, do your research on the brands behind it, the manufacturing company, to see how long they've been in business, check out their ratings and their reviews. Now, we as a dealer are selective, which means we get to choose which brands we carry, and that's why we carry the best. Now, before I get too far into this video, I do need to take the time to tell you a few things. Number one, we're covering retail-friendly products that do not require a measurement of the user. So if you need something more customized that's going to have complex features such as the ability to stand you up, or to have different customizations done to it that are not considered retail-ready chairs like the ones you see here, you're going to want to definitely look into what's known as a rehab power wheelchair, which is basically custom built according to each and every person's specific needs. I also want to take the time to tell you that we are currently, at the time of making this video, not accepting insurance for payment on any of our mobility products. So if you are looking to use Medicare, Medicaid, or any other medical insurance to cover part or all of the purchase of your power wheelchair, we are not accepting any sort of insurance whatsoever. You will need to pay out of pocket completely for any of the models that we carry. So again, going back to the size of this chair, this is a full size, meaning it's going to hold, full-size chairs usually hold between 300 and 350 pounds. Once you get up into the 400, 500, even 600-pound weight capacity chairs, those are going to be considered heavy-duty chairs. So if you go to our website, you're going to see sections for heavy-duty, full-size, travel-friendly, and folding. Some of these models do fold, and that's something you're going to want to consider. I think the most important thing to consider is what you're going to do with your chair. If you're going to be traveling and you want to take it places, you probably want something that's going to be able to either fold up or come apart into a few lightweight pieces. Otherwise, you're going to have some sort of vehicle transportation system like a lift or a ramp to wheel it into your SUV or your van. If you're traveling, going around to the theme parks, to the parks, or you like to go out and about, you're going to need something that's going to work with your scenario. Whether you have a small sedan or a big SUV or a pickup truck, you need to think about those things. And if you don't have a big van or an SUV or a truck, transporting something like this is not going to be easy. This thing weighs about 200 pounds and they get heavier. So think about if you want to have something that's easy to go on vacations with, or if you just need to use it at home, and hopefully that will take you one step closer to knowing what you actually need. These chairs are great if you get a full size or a heavy duty, especially if you need something that can support more weight than a typical travel friendly or a folding scooter, because they normally only hold between 200 to 300 pounds as far as their maximum weight capacity. The lighter they are, the less they're going to be able to handle. Some chairs weigh as low as 30 pounds. Some, again, weigh 200 pounds. So think about what you're going to use your chair for and pay attention to the weight capacity. Remember, a maximum weight capacity is the maximum it can handle before it's being stressed out and overheated. Which brings me to my next point. You generally want to have at least a 15% difference between the weight of the load, aka the person's weight, and the weight capacity of the unit. So if you're like me, I weigh about 215 pounds, I'd be probably best suited for a chair that can handle at least 250. It's going to perform better if it can handle 300 pounds. The more space you have between the maximum weight capacity and the user's weight, the better it's going to perform. You're not going to have to change batteries as much. You can actually most likely go on grass without a problem. It's going to be able to go up ramps a little bit easier. So you want to really pay attention to the specifications, not only the weight capacity, the incline rating, which is going to tell you how it handles hills, the ground clearance to make sure you have enough height there between the base of the unit at the bottom. If you need to go over a speed bump, ground clearance, you're probably going to need at least 2 inches of ground clearance. So check your specs out. Okay, weight capacity, ground clearance, the dimensions are super important, especially if you live in a small area, you have a lot of furniture and not too much room to do U-turns in. You're going to want to look at the overall length, the width, and the turning radius to make sure that you have enough space in your home and you'll be able to navigate your wheelchair around comfortably. Now, that's going to bring me to another point. Power wheelchairs have different drive configurations. So this power wheelchair is, as you can kind of see here, a rear wheel drive, meaning the back wheels are driving the system. So the motor has a transaxle motor on each rear wheel. There's 2 motors. Has automatic brakes, just like all the power wheelchairs we carry, so you don't have to hit a brake lever or a brake pedal. You just let go of the joystick and it's going to kick in the braking system. Now look at this chair next to it. This is technically considered a front wheel drive power wheelchair. The drive wheels are in the front. And as you notice, it has caster wheels in the back for balancing and to keep it level, right? In the front as well. And these arms that come out a good 5 to 6 inches on the front and the back, including the overall length of the base. This thing is over 40 inches in length. And when you do a U-turn, you can start bumping into things pretty easily. It's got a large footprint on it. Okay, 40 inches is a lot of space compared to this machine here, which I'm just going to turn on the automatic braking system. Most of these power chairs have yellow levers somewhere, and that's how you turn the brakes on and off. There's 2 motors, 2 braking systems. That's why there's 2 levers. So now that the braking system's on, I can actually demonstrate it for you. And when I do a U-turn on this one, you could see it just takes up much less space. Now, a mid-wheel drive power chair, which I'm throwing on the screen now, is even better when it comes to a turning radius. As you can see, when you do a U-turn on a mid-wheel drive power wheelchair, the unit kind of orbits in place. So the overall length of the unit from front to back is kind of gonna show you and tell you how much space you need to do a full U-turn, whereas on a front wheel drive or a rear wheel drive, it's really not as easy to see how much space you're gonna need with a power wheelchair doing a U-turn. You're gonna have to account for the swing of either the front or the back wheels swinging around. The mid-wheel drives, they do a perfect orbit, they stay in place, and it's super easy to work with in tight spaces. So consider all those factors before you make a decision, because it's going to greatly impact your day-to-day activities. If you're a full-time wheelchair user, you need to know about these things. All right, folks, so the next thing I want to talk about is we're going to work our way up from the bottom and work our way up. So what's the first thing you think about when it comes to a power chair, working your way up from your feet? For me, it's the size of the foot platform, aka the foot plate. Now, I'm a size 12 US male shoe, so I've got a pretty good amount of space here on this unit. This is the Go Chair by Pride Mobility. It's got a decent foot plate, and you want to get the measurements of the foot plate, compare them against the size of your shoe to make sure you have enough space. Now, if you're hanging off the front a little bit, that's probably not going to be a big deal, but it really depends on your needs. Now, this model to the right of me has a much smaller depth on its foot plate, so that might be a little uncomfortable for someone that has a size 12 or 13 shoe. So make sure you look at the foot plate dimensions, know the length of your feet with your shoes on that you normally use, and consider that. Now, one other thing I want to tell you about is the foot plates that flip up are really convenient, especially if you're going to mount and dismount the chair. You want to be able to get it out of the way. It's going to save a good amount of depth and length on the power chair in general. Something else that I want to tell you about too is if you are the type of person that can use a walker to maybe get from places without having to use your power chair, then that's great, and you probably want to consider a chair that has a universal hitch receiver in the back. This 1-inch hitch receiver on the back is the universal size. A lot of brands and models come with it, and it allows you to attach things to your power chair, such as a walker holder, oxygen tank holder, a rear shopping basket, which gives you a ton of extra space when you're going grocery shopping, and it's all done with that 1-inch hitch receiver on the back. It's kind of like the hitch receiver you would see on a truck that you would attach your trailer to if you were towing a trailer or a boat. It works the same way. You just kind of insert the basket or the walker holder in there, and that's going to give you a ton of extra space and the ability to transport things like we talked about, your walkers, your canes, your crutches, oxygen tank holders, etc. You also want to kind of think about how tall you are. Now, I'm about 6 foot and I feel pretty comfortable on this seat. Some models have a seat to foot plate height that's a little bit shorter than what I'm comfortable with. And a lot of them have a height adjustable seat. This one does, but most of the folding models do not. So if you want something that is going to have a height adjustment feature for the seat, you're probably going to want to stick to either a travel-friendly model that comes apart or a full-size model. Folding models do not offer height adjustable seats in most cases. You also want to take into consideration the ease of use when it comes to mounting and dismounting the chair. Folding models usually don't have armrests that flip up and get out of the way, which is particularly useful if you want to transfer from the chair to a bed. If the armrest is in the way, the only way to do it is to transfer forward. But with most models, they have flip-up armrests. Except for the folding models, most of them do not flip up and out of the way, unfortunately. So take that into consideration as well. Your height is really important. If you need to have a height adjustable seat, you want to be able to transfer in and out of it. You also want to know the overall width and the depth of the seat. Now here we have a standard size chair, which is normally around 17 to 18 inches. And then over to the right, your left, we have a different wheel model known as the C, which has several seat options. You can get an 18, 20, or a 22-inch wide seat. There's cushion options as well, which I highly recommend looking into if you're going to spend a lot of time in your power chair. You want to make sure it has a comfortable seat with some sort of memory foam, and of course that's wide enough and deep enough to fit your body type. So measure any chair that you might already have at home that's comfortable for you. Get an idea for what the width and the depth is of that chair and compare that to the specifications of the power wheelchairs you're shopping for. Now, our website happens to have all the specifications you could really get. We take the time to personally measure everything out and put it on our website so that you can use our product comparison feature and compare models against each other to see which one has the right specs for your needs. Rolling. Now, something else I do want to tell you about that you should consider is whether or not Now, something else to consider is whether or not the armrests on your chair are going to be width adjustable or height adjustable. Now, having the feature to flip the armrest up, in my opinion, is a must. But a lot of chairs like this one also have adjustment screws here and on the side to change the width settings and the height settings of the armrest. So this armrest flips up. It does not have a height adjustment screw on the side like this one does here. The Jazzy full-size chairs usually have a height adjustment set screw. So if you loosen that screw that's hidden in there with the Allen key, you can adjust the height of the armrests. And on this model, you can adjust the width by loosening up this screw, pulling out this securement pin, and the armrests move out or closer in. So you'll have more room between each armrest by adjusting the width, and the armrest height is adjustable depending on your reach or the length of your arms or where your elbow point falls at. So these are all important things to consider as well. And if you need additional back support, I would also consider something with a headrest as opposed to a travel-friendly model with a half-back seat. Some people need that extra upper back support, and a lot of models have what's known as a captain seat like this Jazzy Air 2. Now, something else that I think is pretty awesome, and it's not really necessary for a lot of people, but if you want to, you can opt in for a model like the Jazzy Air 2, which has an elevating seat, and that is what makes the Jazzy Air 2 special. Now, we have a full product review video on this model, but I'm just going to demonstrate what I'm talking about here. So with the Jazzy Air 2, I can actually lift the seat up a total of 12 inches. So if your loved one hides the cookie jar up high in the cabinet so that you can't reach them, well, that's one of the reasons why you may want to consider a seat with an elevating feature. It also allows you to speak with somebody at eye level, which is pretty nice because for most wheelchair users, you are much lower than someone who's not a wheelchair user when you're carrying a conversation with them. And that's just something to think about. There are lots of neat features that are going to probably increase the cost overall of the unit, but might be worth it, such as suspension, which brings me to my next point. The ride, how smooth is the ride, is something to consider, especially if you're going to be going off-road or on sidewalks that have some pretty, rough cracks or spacing between the pieces of the sidewalk there that you can feel on some models that have absolutely no suspension. A lot of models have suspension. Some are even coming with perforated tires now, which kind of act as a suspension to soften up the ride. But having an independent coil suspension system is usually the best way to go if you want a really smooth ride. Some models also have air-filled tires, which will require a little more maintenance. You could obviously run over a nail and have to get new tires, but the ride is smoother, generally speaking, with air inflatable tires when compared to solid, flat-free tires. So keep that in mind as well. Now, while we're on this Jazzy Air Power wheelchair, I do want to tell you about something that's pretty awesome. With any Golden Technologies chair or Pride Mobility chair, you actually get a 1-year in-home repair contract, which you can upgrade to 2 years. And that's going to give you peace of mind knowing that if something goes wrong, a technician will come to your home to replace the warranty-approved part. So that means you call our tech department. They're going to do a few troubleshooting procedures over the phone with you to see what's going on. And if it is a warranty-approved claim, your warranty parts will be replaced in your home by a in-home service technician. And that's included for free for 1 full year on Golden Technology products like the Envy or the Buzzabout, as well as all Pride Mobility products like the Jazzy series as well. And I think that's a huge peace of mind. Only the most confident engineering and manufacturing companies out there are going to offer something like that. And that's another reason why we strongly recommend Pride Mobility and Golden Technologies power wheelchairs in general. Now, something else I want to talk about briefly are batteries, specifically power wheelchairs that have lithium batteries. Most of the folding models are going to be equipped with lithium batteries. Most other models are going to have what's known as a sealed lead acid battery setup. So sealed lead acid batteries typically do not have many restrictions when it comes to airline travel, and that's a pretty popular topic. If you're going on an airplane with a power wheelchair that has lithium batteries, you do need to check with the airline and see what restrictions, if any, they have on lithium battery size requirements, and they might actually ask you for a printout that manufacturers provide, letting the airlines know that it is an FAA compliant battery. So the general rule of thumb, which is not always the case, is if the lithium battery has less than 300 watt hours, it's typically airline approved for domestic flights. But again, that can change depending on the airline. So always check with your airline company and check the specs of the battery, including the voltage, the amp hours, the watt hours, and the chemistry, most importantly, which is either lithium or sealed lead acid 99% of the time. All right, folks, well, hopefully you've learned a few things. Now, when you're ordering any of these power wheelchairs online, you also want to take into consideration the assembly process, and that's where I'm going to take the time to tell you about our unboxing and assembly tutorial videos. We have those videos for every single model that we carry for the most part. So if you're wondering what it's going to take to assemble the chair, many of the travel-friendly ones come fully assembled. We have unboxing and assembly videos. You can click right there and it's going to take you directly to our unboxing and assembly video playlist. You can search for the model that you're thinking about purchasing. Get familiar with the unboxing and assembly process. That way you can determine whether or not you're going to need someone there to help you set it up. It does come with detailed instructions, user manuals, chargers, batteries, all come with every single unit that we carry. So keep that in mind, folks. You should also check out our reviews and our ratings. We have an excellent reputation for providing excellent customer service down the road when you need it most. Unlike some of our competitors who have commission-driven sales experts, our sales experts are super friendly. They're not here to push you into something super expensive. They don't earn commissions, and they're happy to take your call and answer any questions that you might have. More importantly, down the road when you need us, we answer the phone, we reply and help our customers. We have a full-blown tech support division and a parts department as well to help you get replacement parts even when your warranty has expired. So if you haven't already claimed your catalog, make sure you claim that catalog. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel for a chance to win a free mobility scooter once a month. That's right, once a month. We select a random subscriber of our YouTube channel and we donate them a free mobility product. Much like the power wheelchairs that you're seeing here or the mobility scooters that you see behind me. If you happen to need a mobility scooter or you know someone that needs a mobility scooter, keep us in mind. We'd love to earn your business. Again, I'm Sergio with Mobility Direct. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, have a great day.
Wow! Come on, move it over. I said, baby, I know you're on a roll. Sweet honey, let's take it real slow.